So in this segment, we're going to be talking about Tory MP Theresa Villiers claiming that the Tories can be trusted on the economy and to help more people onto the housing ladder, and why that's the biggest part of nonsense I've read this year, apart from Truss's theories on trickle-down economics. This is malarkey, genuine malarkey, as Joe Biden would say.
People who are struggling to get on the housing ladder, rental prices are soaring. What reason are you giving those young people to vote Conservative?
Because the Conservatives are the party that can be trusted on the economy, because we're...
Bro, you put a £30 billion hole in the economy just through Liz Truss's statements. Liz Truss in 6 weeks cost the economy £60 billion. All of the lost trade with the EU, the fact that you've taken away the Erasmus scheme, which was quite cool. I noticed a couple of people that came over via the Erasmus scheme to the UK. It was interesting meeting them. You've taken away freedom of movement, which means it's far more difficult to travel to the EU. I remember going to to the Netherlands and to Germany, and all I needed was my passport. That was it. I didn't need a visa. I didn't need to pay for any additional costs or anything like that. Now, if I stay there over 90 days out of a 180-day period, I get some sort of stamp on my passport, which means I won't be able to go to the EU for a certain amount of time. Things like that, really. You've made it very difficult. You've made airport lines, things like that, queues very long. You've made the cost of living go up dramatically. Forget just the travel stuff. You've taken away jobs and opportunities, and so much you've taken from, especially younger people, let's be honest here. You also nearly crippled the pension funds in the UK. That would have been great if you're especially a middle earner or someone who's kind of looking to retire soon. You almost took out their pensions. Why would anyone vote for you for that? Because the interest rates are soaring. It means people's rents have gone up dramatically. Some landlords are taking the mick by putting up people's rents, but some are doing it to cover the costs of the additional interest that they're paying now. You got the energy bill crisis as well. People paying loads of money just to function. Why would anyone vote for you? And especially, I think the question was, why would young people vote for you? You can't buy a house, struggling to pay rent, more likely to live with your parents. You've got the older generation constantly moaning at us because apparently we're not good enough, even though they're the ones that raised us. So really, the fault lies with them rather than with us. Anyways, let's be honest here. I'm all about taking responsibility, but if you can't raise your kids properly and then you moan at them for being rubbish, that's kind of on you. Let's be fair here. You've got all of this kind of stuff, and you've got the fact that work doesn't pay properly anymore. The fact is, disposable income is falling dramatically. People don't have the money to spend on luxuries as much as their parents did. We're the generation where I think we are worse off than our parents, and so you've got the gall of this lady to kind of say, young people should vote Conservative because they can be trusted on the economy. How can you be trusted on the economy when you've absolutely tanked it? We are the worst growing member out of the G7. We're going to have a longer recession than the vast majority of Eurozone countries by a year. A year, 12 months, 4 quarters. That's the state of the UK right now. Why the hell would anyone trust you? But yeah, sure, cool, sick one, because you're good with the economy.
Going to get taxes down, and yeah,
you've put taxes up to the highest level since World War II. So how are you going to get taxes down when you're putting taxes up? When is the tax going to come down? That's the real question. How many years is it going to take? Because the tax thresholds are stuck until 2028. Is that what you mean by soon?
Yes, because we're going to help more people on the housing ladder. We will continue. You've
pushed interest rates up. That the price of housing is going to come down potentially, but you've pushed interest rates up. So unless you're buying a house with a fat deposit, a really fat deposit, or you're going to buy in cash, you're going to have to be very rich to do that. You're going to struggle to get on the housing market because your mortgage has gone up significantly. Your mortgage payments have gone up significantly, and the banks are now less likely to lend because they know there's so much economic uncertainty coming. So how have you helped people on the housing ladder? Please tell me.
To deliver new homes. That is absolutely...
You haven't delivered more homes. You haven't delivered more affordable housing. I think that the figure was 0 or something like that. You've fundamentally failed. Sorry, I keep pausing this. It's just they just get away with lies. It just annoys me.
The right thing to do, and removing mandatory centrally set top-down targets is not going to stop that. It just means that we'll need to take communities with us in terms of housing delivery. So
all you've got is a bunch of NIMBYs saying, no, you can't build houses in NIMBY because that will lower the value of their house. There should be ways to force through, construction of new properties, because you have to increase the amount of properties we have in the UK because there simply isn't enough. And with a lack of supply, it means demand further increases and keeps pushing the housing prices up.
So Housing is something which is done with the consent of local communities, not done to them.
The problem is you just have a bunch of NIMBYs who don't want new housing projects. That's the problem. They'll keep saying no because they want their house price to stay high so they can make more money through rent or through house sales, etc. This lady's ridiculous, and I think the journalist should have done a much better job here. Fair enough, the clip's not that long, but I think she should have definitely pushed back on the economy thing. How is it that a government within 6 weeks, right, of changing their unelected, or changing to an unelected leader, no one elected Liz Truss, no one from the public, not really, she puts a £30 billion black hole in the economy, and then you have austerity 2.0, which can be way worse than what David Cameron did. We're a country that schools and hospitals are in debt. That's our country. So how do you square the circle of, oh, we're good with the economy when you've done all of this damage? I genuinely don't get it. And anyone who believes her or thinks the Conservatives are good with the economy, you're a moron. You're a genuine moron who understands very little about economics. And it's sad that you get a vote with your lack of education, I'll be honest. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Support the channel on Patreon if you can. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one.